Hey friends, I hope the morning's treating you well. Hope you got your coffee if you drink coffee. I'm here in East Nashville. I wanted to give a little bit of a State of the Union, but before I do, I want to talk about the future of this channel. Before I do, I want to say thank you very much for all the kind words that I've received about my film, A Love Letter to Handsome John, which I made available here on YouTube for free, which was the intention all along after we had a nice theater run. Never thought the theater run would happen. It was a beautiful thing, and it's great to get to share it with the world. So thank you guys very much for all the kind words. I've seen people out on the street, in the real world, shaking hands, who have just been really nice and said beautiful things to me, and I appreciate that, and it feels really good. And just, it's nice to have something affecting people in a positive way, you know. And it's not for everybody. Not everybody likes it, I'm sure, but the people who do like it, it affects them deeply, and that was the intention from the start. And so thank you guys very much. I want to say there's a lot of new people who've come to the channel who don't know anything about me. I'm a folk singer. I write songs. I travel around. I stand on stages, tell stories, and sing songs that I wrote to people and try to connect with them in a meaningful way. That's how I've made my living for the last 25 years, and it's been a very beautiful thing. I haven't had a day job in about 25 years, so I'm very fortunate. And Amy hasn't had one in maybe 18 or so. So I realize that I'm lucky to get to do what I do, but I've worked very hard and sacrificed to be able to do it. So somewhere along the line, just to give you, those of you who don't know anything about me, others know this story, but somewhere along the line, I never enjoyed being interviewed because the opportunities that I got were not great. I had one really bad one in Rotterdam, and I left there and I was just like, man, why am I doing this? What the hell's the point of all of this? And I thought, you know, I don't work for anybody. I don't have some, you know, label I have to answer to or anything like that. I am the label. Everything I've done has been DIY, you know, like Woody Guthrie or Joe Hill would have done, and where they just took it right to the people. And that's kind of what I've tried to do. Anyhow, I'm getting off subject. I left there and I was just like, man, what am I doing this for? And I thought, well, I don't work for anybody. I don't have to do this. So I thought, I'm not going to be interviewed anymore. I'm not going to do any more interviews. And I meant it. So that mania calmed down a couple days later, and the reality set in. It's like, okay, big shot. If you're not going to be interviewed by anybody, how's anybody going to know about you? You know, I'm a big believer that you can't just be against things in life. You have to come up with solutions that, you know, work for you. Things that you can't just simply be throwing out the negativity of why this won't work. You have to come up with, well, we can do this and this will be better. This is how we'll do it. So I held myself to that standard. I thought, be the change that you want to see in the world. And I got this idea. It's like, I'll start a podcast and I will talk about the things that I like. And I like history. And I have all of these friends that I've met doing this over the years who have very, very interesting stories. And I would hear them being interviewed, and people would ask them the most mundane, boring questions. And I would know, it's like, this person has great stories, and this viewer doesn't even know how to get to those. And I thought, I'll create a platform that I wish I could walk onto myself, that I wish already existed. And that's what I did. And there was no evidence in the world that I had any abilities to do this. You know, I'd never done it before. I could really suck at it. You never know. You know, but I thought, I want to do it. And I just happened to be fortunate enough. I think I was the first person in the roots music world to do this. At least I was really, really early. I started a podcast called Thanks for Giving a Damn. And the first episode was an interview with Ray Wiley Hubbard. And love Ray. He's nice enough to do it. And I was on tour in Sweden. And I had it all done, ready to go, and I had to publish it. But I was afraid, because what if it sucks? I don't want to embarrass myself. And and all that. And I woke up one morning. I was in a farmhouse somewhere outside of, I think, Avesta, Sweden. It's wherever the promoter put me up in, and I was in this bedroom from a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. I slept with the window open. I woke up and a sparrow flew in and was sitting down on the one of the posts at the end of the bed. I just woke up to hearing it chirping and looked, and I laid there for 20 minutes or so, and it finally flew out. And I thought, all right, if I'm looking for omens, which I wasn't, but if I'm looking for omens, that's a pretty good one. So I got up and I hit publish and sent that out into the world. That grew way quicker than I ever could have imagined. There was people cared about this stuff, and they wanted, they were willing to wait till I got better at it. And I think it started out doing pretty good. Anyway, I did that every week for 2 years, and it just about killed me because I would be on tour somewhere, somewhere else in the world. And I think it was Wednesday when I published a new one, I stuck to that. I really held myself accountable to doing that. So while I'm on the road, I'm in airports or whatever, editing this stuff. Sometimes I was in a hotel room and there was something really, really cool just, 5 blocks away. I could walk out and go witness this really cool thing. I didn't, because I stayed in the hotel room and made the podcast. And it was beautiful. I met so many nice people from it. It's called Thanks for Giving a Damn. And it's somewhere along, and I never made any money off of it at all. That wasn't even the idea. I just thought, be your own press. The whole punk rock thing of be your own press. Talk about things that you like, and try to spread the word about those things and the people that you like, and other people will find out about you through the process. That was kind of how it worked, whether I realized that out loud or not. And so somewhere along the line, Pandora approached me. Somebody there liked my podcast, and they asked me to host a history of country music show. And they were really, really good to me. Really good to me. It was one of the most positive experiences I've ever had in music. Really nice people that worked there. I have no idea what the company's like, but the people who work at the company were absolutely wonderful. They treated me great. I did it for 2 seasons. I did things like I went fishing with Luke Combs. I'd never even heard of him. I had no idea who he was, but he was huge. I just didn't pay attention to, but it was nice. He was a nice guy. I did things like that. We did a session with the drive-by truckers, lots of really, like Ryan Bingham, went to his house in California, and just beautiful stuff like that. But I did that for 2 seasons. There were 3 million subscribers, and then the pandemic came, and it just kind of killed the whole thing. And I was locked down in my house, and no way to interview people because I only do it face-to-face is a rule that I had. So everything kind of came to a screeching halt. I had 5 tours canceled, and just this ugly moment, and I needed something to distract myself. And I thought, well, for some reason, my entire life, when I talk to people, they calm down. And I'm the person that friends would call at 3 a.m. because they needed somebody to talk to. And I would help them find the way through whatever they were dealing with the best that I could. And so I thought, I'm going to just talk to people. I'm going to get on YouTube and just start talking. And I'll tell a John Prine story or something. And for 10 minutes, it'll make people feel a little bit better. And it'll distract them from this ugliness that we're going through right now. And in the process, I'll feel better about it, because I'll have this distraction of this thing I'm working on. And that's pretty much what the channel became early on. It's just, I looked at it as my USO tour. This is how I can add to this effort and ease the suffering of others the best I can, and then therefore easing my own suffering in this moment. And man, it grew immediately. And immediately there was a audience, and like everything I've done is just me putting a message in a bottle and throwing it out into the ocean and seeing if anybody finds it. And that's kind of what I did with that, and people found it. And there's also the beauty of these nice people like John Prine fans, the nicest people in the world. And it's just a moment when you really want to connect with people like that. And we talked about a lot of different things, as you've seen on the channel, but that's kind of where it started. And then when it was safe to go out into the world again, I thought, well, I'm going to start interviewing people like I did for my podcast, Thanks for Giving a Damn, and I'll just do it here on YouTube. Because lo and behold, I was able to make a little bit of money doing it on YouTube, which I never did on the audio podcast. So I just put all of my efforts into doing this on YouTube, and it just kept growing, and kept finding people. And it's been a beautiful, beautiful situation, where I've got to meet a lot of really nice people that I don't think I would have met otherwise. And I get to spend time with people I really dig. It's a reason to reconnect. Hey, I'll come over and we'll film some stories, do a little interview or something. Let's reconnect with people I like. It's been beautiful that way. Now, I'll say this. It's just me, as far as music goes, it's me and Amy and my manager, Josh. We do everything. Okay, so with YouTube, it's just me. I film everything. I do all of the audio. I do all the editing and all that. Everything goes through me, and that's fine that way. Every now and then, my buddy Todd Fox will hold a camera for me. I'm like, hey man, help me film this. And so when I say that, there's probably been 5 or 8, maybe 10 videos in the last year that he's helped me with, out of 100. So there's mostly me. And since I'm the breadwinner of the household, I have to take care of the families, and I only have so many hours of the day. So over the years, I used to never think about things this way, but after years go by, kind of like I have to put attention towards things that will help, pay our bills. And so the more I'm able to make this thing self-sustaining, the more time I'm able to put into it. And I've been able to walk that line pretty good over the years. And the thing that makes it work best is my Patreon supporters. There's people that will give me $5 a month, and it makes all the things that you see on the channel possible. And sometimes I make it to where everything is available. Like a person gives $5 a month, you can access everything. A lot of people give more than that, but they get the same stuff. I don't want your financial situation to dictate your access to the stuff I put out there. There's 400 extra videos on Patreon. And when I say Patreon, I mean YouTube members also. But YouTube takes a bigger cut out of the money that you put forth. I get less of it. So I always try to send people to Patreon. So if you're already on YouTube members, that's cool. Don't worry about it. But if you're wondering which one, I'd say go to Patreon. And if you don't, also, it's probably smart to not have everything in one basket. It's nice to have YouTube and Patreon, But, and if you don't want to join and help out with that or whatever, that's fine. It's fine. You just enjoy the videos, don't feel guilty about it. It's not I understand these are not the easiest times, and there's a lot of things that we all have to worry about. So don't worry about it. I think though in the end there will be enough people who value this enough to where they want to support it. And that's been the case so far, but I want to just say this out loud to let everybody know that is kind of how this whole thing stays charging through. Where I've created this archive. How many videos are on here? There's it was over 1,000 a long time ago. I think I've made about 1,500 videos on the main channel, but there's less than that because I've kind of, over the years, some of those have gone away. There might be 11 or 1,200, and then there's probably 400 behind thing. But all of the interviews I make available for free. I don't put any of those on Patreon or whatever. I put a lot of extra stuff. So anyway, just wanted to say that. And I definitely don't think I would have been able to make a love letter to Handsome John if I didn't have those people supporting me at Patreon and YouTube members, that little bit of money to where I could clear off my schedule for a couple months and only work on that. And man, I'm so glad I was able to do that, because it's such a beautiful experience in meeting so many beautiful people. And I hope it was cathartic in some way to some people, and brought comfort to some folks. It brought comfort to me in certain ways, and we all need that. We all still need that. But before I get a little too emo on you guys, I just want to say thank you guys for being here, and thank you for supporting this experiment, is what I always say I call it the super secret area, or Patreon and all that. And it means a lot, and I hope that I will get to see you somewhere down the road. If you have not watched A Love Letter to Handsome John, I'm going to put it right here. Please watch that. I think you will find something beautiful in it, and I will see you somewhere down the road. Can you hear that East Nashville train? Somebody play a train song. It won't blow now. The train whistle doesn't want to blow again. Anyway, I'll see you somewhere down the road. Watch Love Letter to Handsome John. Much love to you.